We're going to start now. Good morning and welcome to everyone. This is a skill workshop on EnerMaps, and it's going to target the open access energy data and calculation modules. I'm Giulia Conforto from eThink. eThink is a spin-off of TUVIN, and it's a center for research on energy economics and systems. We develop mainly European projects on energy efficiency, heating and cooling systems, and on the nexus between data, software, and the social environment. I'm here today with our two colleagues of eThink, Markus Hummel, our managing director, and Bernard Meyer, a co-researcher. We also have two colleagues from OpenAir, Alessia Bardi and Gina Pavone, and we have Eric Wilczynski from URAC. I'm gonna just let everyone introduce themselves quickly now, and then we're gonna move on with the agenda.
Okay, maybe I start. Hi, hello, good morning, everybody. Markus Hummel, eThink. Yeah, more than 10 years in the field of energy planning, energy economics, heating and cooling, modeling, strategy development. Yeah, Bernhard, maybe.
Hi, everybody. My name is Bernhard, and I'm a student, master student of energy engineering, and yeah. So
I think it's my turn. So hi, I'm Alessia Bardi. I'm a researcher in computer science, and I'm working at the Italian National Research Council, and I'm a member of the OpenAir infrastructure, which is an initiative to support and promote open science in Europe and beyond.
Hi, good morning. My name is Gina Pavone. I'm a colleague of Alessia. I work at the National Research Council as a research fellow. My focus is on open science, on open access to research outputs in general at large. And I also work as National Open Access Desk for OpenAir. Thank you.
I think I'm the last one. My name is Eric Wilczynski, and I'm at URAC Research, where I'm also working on my PhD as well. Thanks, welcome.
Thank you, everyone. So again, a quick note for those that joined in the meantime, this session is being recorded. Feel free to keep your camera on or off as you prefer. I would kindly ask you to keep your microphone muted until we welcome questions, but you can always intervene through the chat. We launched the poll, so I'm gonna end the poll now and share the results. For those who participated, we asked you, what is your field of work? And we have a majority coming from science and research and industry and other categories that are not listed here. If you would like to share your category, feel free to write that in the chat. The second question was, what is your proficiency on energy modeling? And we had a diversified participation from participants who have no proficiency, beginner, intermediate, and also advanced modelers. And what is your proficiency with open science? And here again, we have a quite diversified participation. Good, thank you for participating in this poll. We're gonna have more later on. I'm gonna now share my screen with the presentation. Okay. You should see the presentation in full screen mode, do you?
I don't.
Okay, perfect. Then sharing this screen. Sorry for this setback. I'm gonna share again. Do you see it now? And is it in full screen? Is it in full screen now? Still not?
It starts now, I think.
Mm.
In full screen.
Yeah, but we
Okay.
cannot still see the screen. We just see it's going to start.
Oh. It is not nice. My screen is paused. Sorry for this setback. I'm going to share again. Share,
Yes, we can see it.
but in full screen.
Not in full screen, just the PowerPoint surface. Now we can see it in full screen.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. And sorry for this setback. So I'm going to quickly introduce you to the project EnerMaps. Now let's look at the issue that EnerMaps tries to address. Independently from what is your affiliation and your field of work, that you work in a public administration, as an energy modeler, as a researcher, in the industry, as a consultant, accurate data is always essential for any kind of professionals when it comes to energy analysis and energy modeling. But energy data is a special kind of data because it's usually fragmented, it's hard to find, it is made of data and information coming from different data sets and different sources, and putting it together and cleaning it and making it usable is usually a very time-consuming and dispersive process. So EnerMaps aims to accelerate and facilitate the energy transition through a qualitative and user-friendly digital platform that is made on purpose to address and tackle this problem. EnerMaps is a European-funded project. It's a Horizon 2020 research project, and it aims at delivering a platform that is made of two interoperable tools. One is the Open Data Management tool, which is a visualization interface for geolocalized data enriched with calculation models. And the other one is the EnerMaps Gateway, which is a portal structured on the same template of the OpenAir portal, made for finding from a single entry point a number of energy publications, research outcomes, software, and it is enriched with a number of curated and quality checked data sets. Now, what is interesting is that these two layers are connected. So a user that wants to look at the publications can then open the data sets and reach the visualization tool. And a user that would like to look straight at the data can find more information and get back to the gateway. And the data visualized on the visualization tool comes from a number of data sets that are reachable also through the gateway. Now, the main objectives of this project are to first centralize these energy data sets on the gateway and on the visualization tool in order to connect the energy research community with the energy professionals. Then to improve the accessibility of scientific data sets, because all the data used in EnerMaps responds to the principle of fair data. So it is findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. And EnerMaps also aims at ensuring the quality of the data sets that are centralized on the gateway and on the visualization tool, and to increase the energy data knowledge of users through training activities to facilitate the energy transition. Now, because of these objectives, the project mainly focuses on a number of the deliverables that are the work on data, So first, identifying what are the data, the energy data needs out in the market across different user categories. Then the development of the gateway, the development of the visualization tool, the development of the calculation modules, and finally, this dissemination and capacity building activity in order to reach as many users as possible and make them aware of the potential, not only of open science, but of open science connected to energy data. Let's look at that in the order. So the energy data needs have been assessed through two parallel processes. One was a literature review and the other was a set of experts interviews. The data sets that were selected are 50. We're visualizing them in order because it's still a working process. Here you can see how they break down in terms of what kind of data sets we have selected. So some were renewable energy generation information, other were data on the building stock, there are end user energy consumption, there are distributed production information, there are climate and emission data sets, there are socioeconomic data, and so on. The process of quality check consisted of a comparison and assessment of the accuracy, consistency, completeness, and transparency of the data sets. And you have to know that the 50 data sets that were quality checked have been divided in different levels. The 10 featured data sets are those of level 3, where the assessment was the most complete, and then the other 2 levels have been quality checked in different regards. Now, the 2 layers concept, here you have a little chart that shows why we have chosen this approach. Different users have different needs when it comes to data, and especially to energy data. So there are users that could be mainly researchers and students that would like to search for a particular data set or search for a number of publications, but in a high coverage approach. So they would be more likely to find useful the approach of the gateway, where they will still find the same data sets, but on top of that, they will reach out to a huge number of publications. And then there are users that we could imagine coming from the private sector, energy consultants, for a public administration, for an energy utility, for a renewable energy company that would want to make a quick assessment with precise data in a geolocalized and an explicit geolocalized visualization tool. And they will be likely to want to use the data management tool first. Then, of course, with each data set, they can reach back to the gateway and vice versa. Now, the gateway, we're going to have a demo in the gateway breakout room. We're going to also have a number of practical exercises together. This will be done with our colleague Alessia Bardi. What you have to know about the gateway is that it is not only a portal to search through thousands of open access publications, research outcomes, data set, and software, but the added value of this portal compared to any other portal that you may look at, and OpenAir itself, is that it's filtered. The filters are fine-tuned so that a user that is interested in only energy relevant research outputs will not find the interference of all the other research results that could have the same keywords but are not energy related. So if you think of energy, you could find results that regards agriculture or biology, physics, nutrition, mobility, anything. So sometimes it is very dispersive to use keywords that are used in multiple subjects. On the EnerMaps gateway, what you find are only the energy relevant results. And then, two slides. The visualization tool, this is a preview. It has recently been released. It's still a work in progress. It doesn't only gather all the quality checked data sets and visualize them through this interface that is an evolution of HotMaps, a previous Horizon 2020 research project, but it also offers the possibility to download the data sets and the possibility to use a number of calculation modules. Now, this will be the topic of the second breakout room. So depending what you are most interested in, you can join one or the other. You can also move across breakout rooms. The calculation modules are still being developed. So what we can show you right now is a playlist that is already available on YouTube. I'm gonna now share all the links to the different videos, to the gateway and to the visualization tool in the chat, so you can find them, but I added the links to this presentation, so you will also be able to find them in the proceedings of the conference. There are 5 new calculation modules that are being developed, and one that is an evolution of a calculation module that was already present in HotMaps. You can see them listed here quickly. One is estimates the demand potential for district heating. One is a predictive model for aggregated energy demand. One assesses the refurbishment impact on building energy demand. One develops heating and cooling scenarios. One estimates the district heating expected potential. And one calculates some space heating demand profiles. These are the consortium partners: CREM, URAC Research, EDAP, TUV, OpenAir, eThink, and Revolve have contributed and are contributing to the development of the EnerMaps project. And these are the upcoming events where, if you are interested, you could attend further training. One will be at the Data Science Conference Europe at the end of November. One will be at ENLIT in Milan at the beginning of December. One will be at the end of January at the Sustainability Conference in Granada, and one will be in Wels, Austria at the World Sustainable Energy Days. So thank you very much for your attention. This was all from my side. If you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself or write in the chat. I will now stop sharing my screen. And who is hosting the platform? Alessia, would you like to answer this question for the gateway?
Yes, so the platform for the EnerMaps gateway is hosted by OpenAir, and with one of the members of OpenAir, which is ICM in Warsaw, Poland. And I don't know if you or Marcus can reply for the visualization tool.
Maybe you can step in. Marcus, can you hear us? For the time being, the visualization tool is being hosted by EDAP and CREM on their servers.
The question continues. So who will be maintaining it after the end of the H2020 funding? OpenAir. Okay, so based on the agreement that we have, OpenAir will maintain the platform at least for 2 years after the end of the project. And then we are already finding a sustainability model for the future together with the partners of the project in order to keep it running after the end. We have several possibilities, and finding the right solution is one of the tasks of the project. So I'm pretty sure that we will come with a good solution for by the end of the project. And is there any partnership possible with the JRC, so the Joint Research Center, I guess, like with the E3P platform? I think this could be a possibility, but I'm not an energy researcher, so I don't know the EEE platform, and I don't know which are the agreements that have been set up. But maybe we can further discuss this. So it would be, yes, we can be in touch, Jean-Sébastien, and we can discuss these separately, let's say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for the question. Can you say something about public licensing? I'm not seeing the question.
Okay, can you say something about public licensing model? Do you need to track attribution? Does the data ship with legal metadata? Okay, this was one of the challenge for the selection of the data sets. From the gateway point of view, we collect metadata that have some minimal information in it, and this minimal information contains the access right status. So if they are open, if they're restricted, if it's closed, if it's still unknown. Unfortunately, there is also this case. And optionally, they can also have a license. Now, for publication, it's less common that we have a license. For data sets and software, this is something that is usually available.
Okay, thank you so much, Alessia, for answering all these questions. Now I'm gonna have to give the floor to Gina Pavone for an overview over open science.
Yes, thank you, Julia. I'm going to share my screen, so please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so also in the presentation mode, I hope now.
Yes.
Okay, so many thanks. I'm going to introduce the main concepts of open science. And of course, the objective of open science is to produce good science, to produce robust results, and to work in a collaborative ecosystem, let's say, in a transparent way, and also to have reproducible results, and also to rebuild a good relationship with society. So in this way, producing new, for example, new application and speeding up the process of innovation, and so regaining a good relationship in society, also in the sense of transparency, but also in the sense of producing new business opportunities. But we have some problems, and we need, I think, to just have a look at them at the actual research work life cycle in order to understand what is the necessity of open science now. So why open science is so needed at the moment. So first of all, let's reflect on the word publication. What does the word publication mean? I have put here some of the meaning of the word, and I want to draw your attention in particular to the second and the third meaning. The second meaning of publication is the action of making something known, generally known. And the third meaning is related to business, so a book or journal issued for public sale. And the example of the third meaning is scientific publication. So my question is, why is the scientific output, the research output related, exemplified as a business model, or is an example of the business model? Well, because as you may know, many of the publications or papers, as we usually know in research, are behind paywall. You have to pay to access papers, and you have maybe if you work for a research institution, maybe it is your institution that pays for you, but indirectly you are still paying to access that knowledge. and we pay a lot. This is an estimate of about $10 billion per year that research institutions pay to access scientific journals. So the first problem that we want to address is that actually we have knowledge which is behind a paywall. And it is, of course, a huge problem. And it was evident, I think, during the pandemic. It was urgent to open up and speed up the opening of research results. And so, for example, this is news from just the beginning of that situation with one of the major funders in UK, the Wellcome Trust, which asked to many of the major scientific publishers just to open their papers and their scientific outputs related to COVID-19, because in that case it was evident that we really needed it as a society to have all those results available to anyone who wanted to use them. Well, so why open is not the default mode? I mean, there are many research activities, many researchers which are really important and can produce important applications for society. And let's think, for example, on the research, I don't know, on cancer or other cutting edge researches, like, for example, I don't know, artificial intelligence, or many other fields where research can produce application if we open the results. Actually, scientific journals are subscription-based, and research institutions pay for the work of authors, of researchers as authors, as reviewers, and also to access the research results that they produced. And this is, they are paying, they are purchasing an access and not the a material, let's say, output, not the paper journal. So if you do not pay the access anymore, you will not have it anymore. Another huge problem in the actual scholarly communication system is that researchers relinquish their copyright to publishers. This means that they simply give up their potential commercial benefits deriving from their work. And this means that they are not free anymore to share their results with who they want. Another aspect that open science is trying to face is research evaluation. Actually, research evaluation is based on bibliometric indexes like the Journal Impact Factor or H-index, or a selection of non-bibliometric journals or non-bibliometric of particular list of journals for non-bibliometric sectors. And well, the problem with them is that I'm not going to delve into that, but early careers are really penalized, and in particular indexes are based on data that we cannot access. They are private databases. So, for example, we cannot control, we cannot check those data or reused in a different way. So open science wants to address all these problems, and there are solutions already running, which I'm going to show you. First of all, we have to underline that open science is an umbrella word, and it is composed of so many parts. For example, we have open access and open data. We have the attention to produce reproducible results, and also research assessment is tackled, and research policies. The most important thing is that open science works to open each step of the research activity. And so open access is one of the main components of open science, and means that research results are available to anyone without cost or any kind of barrier. Of course, research integrity is important within open science, because the opening up of each step means also working with transparency, and also giving the possibility to others to check out our work, for example, or to reuse our work in a different way for different objectives, or to produce different things, application, and so on. And so it means collaboration and inclusion. And in fact, open science means openness to diversity, in the sense that all these collaboration also is aimed to produce integration of different knowledge systems and epistemologies. And in that sense, it is important to underline that open science is about collaboration. Another really important thing in open science is that we want to give the right weight to all the research outputs, not only publication, but we want to evaluate and give importance also to data, because data are knowledge, to software protocols, also to negative results that can be important, for example, for others not to lose time or energies in the same research questions, or with the wrong experiment, and so on. So this is really important to give the right importance to all the components of the research work. So open science is our change in the approach. We want to shift from competition to collaboration and sharing, of course. And the good news is that many funders are embracing open science. We have, of course, the European Commission, the European Research Council. In Italy, we have the Ministry of University and Research, which is about to publish National Open Science Plan, and also across Europe and worldwide, there are many important, really important initiatives going on. And so, for example, one of these important initiatives that I want to highlight here is the DORA declaration, which is an initiative that was started some years ago. It is going on worldwide. So it is a declaration on research assessment. The vision is to advance the, practical and robust approaches to research assessment. The starting point is the recognition of a pressing need to improve the ways in which the output of scientific research is evaluated by funding agencies and by academic institutions, for example, for career advancements and so on. The basic principle of DORA recommendations are the need to eliminate the use of metrics to evaluate research and researchers, and the need to produce a new way of assessing research based on merits rather than on the basis of the journal in which they publish. And again, good news, the DORA has selected a list of case studies. This is a list of university and research institutions that have already introduced changes in the academic career assessment. So, for example, as you can see, we have Ghent University, University in Norway, and many, many others which have already abandoned the impact factor and the bibliometric indexes and are embracing new ways of evaluating researchers and research. And another important initiative that I want to mention you right now is the UNESCO, which is embracing open science. UNESCO is the United Nations agency which is a mandate for science. So this is particularly important because it is, again, a worldwide initiative. And those recommendations, the draft text has been approved, has been already approved, and it will be put forward for adoption later this year, in a few weeks, I think. So I want just to underline that changes are going on. Well, the things and the components of open science are already becoming the new normal. So my suggestion is to get to stay informed and do not lag behind, and just to embrace open science practices, because it is important for science and also for researchers. Well, this is my brief introduction to open science. If you want, I'm happy to answer to your questions. And thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Gina. Open science looks like a universe compared to what we are usually used to approach. So we're gonna quickly launch a couple of polls and then move in the breakout rooms. I'm gonna launch a short poll now that is mostly focused on the breakout room 1, which will deal with the EnerMaps gateway. And basically the question is, what do you think is the most difficult thing in open science? Gina, I see that we also had a comment in the chat from Jean-Sébastien.
Oh, I'm going to have a look at it. I was just observing the poll results, which are quite interesting. I think that the data management plan is still considered one of the, let's say, bureaucratic burden. But I think that you really understand what open science is and what the objective is of also of the data management plan. I think that it is a useful tool too.
I just stopped the poll and shared the results so we can move on with the next poll. According to the first poll, sharing data in the data management plan are actually those activities that are considered the hardest. So we will go now with the last poll. This poll focuses mostly on breakout room 2, the room where you will learn more about data visualization and the tools used to operate and reuse energy open data. There are 3 questions. One is on the HotMaps project, of which EnerMaps is an evolution. You're gonna quickly also see and learn more about this project. And there are the other 2 questions are on how important geographically explicit data is for your daily work, and how often you use GIS software, or what is your level of experience with GIS software? In the meantime, if you have a look at the chat, I shared with you a few links. We have 2 links for the EnerMaps gateway, the release version and the beta version. Of course, this is still an ongoing project, so as the calculation modules are still being developed, also the gateway is still in progress. The beta version is where you will find the latest development, and the release version is where you will find a more stable version. Then I shared with you a link to the visualization tool. This is, of course, still a work in progress, but you can already see the first results there. A link to the EnerMaps website and a link to our YouTube playlist, where you will find a number of videos, not last one video per each one of the calculation module that has been recorded by our developers. So I'm gonna end the poll now and share the results. Marcus, do you see anything interesting that you would like to comment right now about the results of the poll before we move to the breakout rooms?
Yeah, thank you, Julia. Actually interesting to see that many of you have heard about the HotMaps project, but never really tried it out. So I think could be interesting then this breakout session number 2, where we are going to have an intro on that. We are also going to see how EnerMaps data can then be used in the HotMaps tool. And also learned that, yeah, at least in the group that is in the meeting here, yeah, many of you are not really needing in the day-to-day work GIS or really geographically allocated data, but some of them are. So I think gives a good overview of the group here. Thanks a lot.
Awesome, thank you. So I'm creating the breakout rooms and I'm gonna open them now. Be aware that you can choose the room that you prefer and you can move across rooms. You will not be assigned to the breakout rooms. So if you don't choose a room, you will stay in the main room and you will be alone. So. And just open all the rooms. Please feel free to move around rooms and enjoy your breakout room sessions. And be aware that also the breakout rooms will be recorded, and then the recording will be shared in the proceedings of the conference and on the EMP-E YouTube channel.
Hey, so then see you in the data visualization and tools room if you want.